Hello. Once again, this is Matthew Ferris, Ferris Benefit Group. I am an insurance broker and the founder of Ferris Benefit Group. And this is a series of videos talking about health, life insurance, disability insurance. But this one is going to talk about something that's very important that I don't think a lot of people understand exactly how important it is. It is health insurance networks and formularies. So first of all, I'm going to break down what a health insurance network is and also what a formulary is. So a health insurance network is pretty much a contract between the insurance company and the providers, whether it be hospitals, urgent cares, emergency rooms, etc. Right? And if you remember, I'm in Houston, Texas, and in the greater Houston area, there's been issues years ago with, say, United Healthcare, which is a huge conglomerate around the nation, and they had an issue with Methodist where for a period of time, like a month or so, they didn't have them in network. Also, there was one, I want to say last year, don't quote me on that, but it was with Blue Cross and Memorial Hermann. And once again, they didn't have them in network. And I knew they were going to fix that because there was too much money involved for them not to have each other in network. But the thing is that people don't realize that this is millions of dollars, probably even more than that, millions of dollars involved to create these networks. So the most expensive thing for a health insurance company is going to be their network of contracted individuals. Not individuals, sorry. It's going to be a network of contracted hospitals, urgent cares, ERs, and everything involved in the healthcare process. So usually the bigger the network, the more expensive it's going to be. In fact, we're going to talk about this in the next video, but this is why PPOs are much more expensive than HMOs and EPOs. Now, about formularies, what are formularies? Well, formularies is kind of similar to what a network is, but it's the list of approved drugs that an insurance company is going to pay for. So once again, all these pharmaceutical companies you've heard of, they have contracts with these various insurance companies, and some drugs are covered and some drugs are. For a certain situation I'll bring up is that it happened with me and also another one of my clients where the insurance company I was with did not want to cover drug A, but they wanted to cover drug B. They do the exact same thing. It's like Nike or Reebok or McDonald's or Burger King. Well, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, they do the exact same thing, but the insurance company has a relationship, or you can say a contract with that company, so they're going to offer it a better price. So one of the things we do with our clients in FBG is that we go through the list of all the providers you need, your hospitals. I didn't even mention doctors and specialists. Doctors and specialists is extremely important because this, especially if you're in a marketplace plan, for example, ACA, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, all same thing. When you're in Texas, you only have access to HMOs. So you have to make sure that your doctor is going to be in network, your specialist is going to be in network, urgent cares, ERs, your hospitals, and even your medicine. These are things that with Obamacare and also with Medicare, which I work for over 65 too, people over 65, I have them give me this list of everything, give me complete names, we research it, we make sure that everything is matching. Because what happens is that if you have, let's say, an HMO, right? If you're out of network, it's not covered. On the PPO, it could be covered, but you have a whole nother set of deductibles, out of pockets, and co-pays you would have to pay. So that's why it's so important to make sure that everything is covered. And what does out of network mean? Well, simply out of network means that with a PPO, like I said, you're going to have those higher deductibles, co-pays, a whole other set. So if you go out of network, it's not going to apply to your in-network deductibles with the things that are contracted in network. And with the HMO, it literally means that it's not covered. They're not going to pay for it. So that's why it's so important. And another thing is that all networks are not created equally. We touched on this in the last video that some companies are bigger, they have bigger networks. Some of the smaller companies don't have networks as large. And what you'll find is, once again, the larger the network, the more the plan's going to cost. And that's a rule of thumb. There could be some variances to that, but that's the rule of thumb. So once again, what you really have to do, and this is what FBG helps you do, is that you really have to understand the healthcare needs of yourself, your family, or your company. And even with companies, what I'll do is that if there's a special situation, I'll have that employee, of course, I'm regulated by HIPAA, just like the doctors and the hospitals. I'll have that employee come to me and talk to me directly. Or if I'm dealing with a family or individual, say a self-employed person looking for their insurance, I will make sure they give me all that information so we can verify. Remember, the saying is trust but verify, but we want to verify ahead of time that all that stuff is in network so there will be no surprises and you can make sure that you're getting the health care that you need.